It is a painful but very common problem to get with the feeding tube. On our adventure.
Oh, you got freezing cold here.
Good Friday morning, everyone. Trying to build up the strength to get out of bed here. In all honesty, I have been having a rough past couple days with my chronic illnesses, but that is okay because I may be moving slowly, but I am still moving forward, and that's the important part. In good news, I did go to bed last night with a migraine. It's a pretty bad migraine, and usually when I go to sleep with a migraine, I wake up with a migraine. They don't go away overnight, but I woke up this morning and it was just a headache. It wasn't a migraine anymore. I still have some pretty nasty head pain, but it's less, and I'm so grateful for that. So maybe the nasal spray I used did work a little bit, but honestly, my reaction to that drug, it is not worth it. My nose still burns, and since my doctor is willing to give me the IV Toradol I can put through my port, I think that's just the best option for me. Toradol is a non-steroid anti-inflammatory drug I use to abort my migraines when they start. And because of my malabsorption, taking oral pills don't work as effectively for me anymore, so they're not aborting my pills. So we tried the nasal spray. The reaction was bad. So we're just gonna go with the IV. It's the best option. And I have a nurse coming to my home this morning. She's gonna look at my feeding tube. I've developed some new pain around my feeding tube, and I might be getting something called granulation tissue, which is basically really raw and irritated skin under the tube that's common with feeding tubes. And since I have a connective tissue disorder called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, where my body doesn't produce collagen properly, I'm really susceptible to skin issues like that. So we will see what the nurse says. And I'm gonna give myself a few more minutes and get out of bed. Har and I are awake. I made it out of bed, got ready for the day. That is an accomplishment, especially when you're not feeling so great. So now I'm just waiting for the nurse to get here, and I will let y'all know how that visit goes. The visit with the home health nurse went great, and I do have granulation tissue. It is a painful but very common problem to get with the feeding tube, and my Ehlers-Danlos syndrome will contribute to it. My case of granulation tissue is very minor. It wasn't even present today. She said it can come and go based on how much movement the tube has. The more movement, the more friction, the more the granulation tissue will appear. So we don't have to worry too much. And I wasn't using a barrier between my tube and the skin because my doctor said it would be best for it to air out. But after talking with this nurse and my doctor, everyone agrees it's okay for me to use a barrier now to help with the granulation tissue because I'm obviously getting irritated with the friction of the tube against my skin. So now let me show y'all. Ta-da! I'm using my tubey pad for the first time. I got this on Etsy. This one is machine washable and it's really soft on the underside. It just puts a barrier between the tube and my skin. It'll help with irritation and granulation tissue. And remember how I was saying my port gets tangled? It really does. If I move a certain way, it gets tangled in my tubing and gets stuck in this clamp here. So that's an easy fix. I just keep it outside my shirt for now. But in August 1st, we're changing this tube to a GJ button. So it's not gonna be a long dangler like this. It's gonna be a little button, and it'll have a J port to my jejunum for feeds and a G port to my stomach for venting so I can drain out contents to help with bloating and nausea. And the home health company is gonna come and do a teach and train with me to show me how to do that because this tube doesn't vent. I won't know how to vent. They gotta teach me. They also said they're gonna come see me once a week to check on the tube and see how it's doing, see how I'm doing. And they said they can do physical therapy at home, which is awesome to me because that'll help a lot with my Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, joint instability, chronic pain, out of breath. I was doing physical therapy, and the reason I stopped is because it was too difficult for me to get to the PT gym with my health being so unpredictable and not feeling well some days, but they said they can arrange it to be done at home. So I'm really content and happy I can use my tubey pad now, and just, things are going well. Oh, and I'm doing a good job of caring for my tube. I'm flushing it how I'm supposed to. I'm changing the feed bags every 24 hours. She said she loves how I clean it with sterile saline and gauze twice a day, and I keep it clean and dry. But she said instead of sterile saline, try using soap and water because it's a little more gentler on the skin, and I seem to have sensitive skin, which Ehlers-Danlos syndrome and mast cell, yes. So all is well. We are taking care of this new feeding tube issue. I mean, I've said it before, life with a feeding tube isn't glamorous, but it's an amazing tool. It literally saved my life. Feeding tubes save lives, I am convinced, and I'm very thankful for this tool. I'm sure issues will pop up with it, but we will tackle them because it is a great tool for me to have in the fight against my chronic illnesses. It is worth it. Well, I'm packing up here and I just kind of crashed. This headache is giving me some issues, but keep moving forward. I've got to pack because we're leaving for Orlando when Judd gets home from work. But as you can see here, I've got lots of medical supplies like heparin and saline flushes, IV meds, infusion stuff, port care stuff, feeding tube supplies, nutrition, and all that stuff. Gotta triple check everything because it's not like I can forget this stuff. Kind of crucial, need it. So gonna continue packing and then take a break. I was able to finish packing. I had some cucumber as a healthy snack, put some ice packs on my head and rested to try and help this headache. And in all honesty, the granulation tissue does hurt. Just imagine really raw, irritated skin. But thankfully, I have a minor case. Apparently, really bad cases of granulation tissue have to be, I guess, burned off with this acidic-based product, but mine's not that bad, thankfully. And I will deal with the granulation tissue and work through it because, like I said, my feeding tube is worth it. Sometimes treatments that are really good for you come with bad side effects, but that's just life with chronic illness. You gotta balance the pros and cons. And now I'm just waiting for Judd to get home from work so we can head over to Orlando. Harlow, tell the people we hit the road. She's sporting a bandana, looks cute. Judd is here. How's your day, babe?
It was good.
Awesome.
Good.
And I started out a delivery for another month's supply of my feeding tube stuff, and I left a message with my neurologist about the nasal spray fiasco and inquired about IV Toradol again, so all is good. I am honestly not feeling great. Like I said, the past few days have been difficult with my health, but despite that, I am really grateful I'm feeling well enough to make it to Orlando, so focusing on the positives. We are going to Orlando for Judd's drill. He's in the Army National Guard. I'm gonna tell them a little bit.
I've been in the Florida National Guard as an 11 Bravo infantryman for the past 3 years. One of those years was gearing up for a deployment. The other one of those years was spent overseas.
Yep.
And 1 year was spent home.
We have a very cute deployment reunion video, so y'all can click the link in one of these corners to see it. We made it to Paul and Janice's house, but they are not here, so being the good friends we are, we just let ourselves in and made ourselves at home. Harlow is going crazy with Orion's toys. Harlow's raw meals and my infusion stuff go from the cooler to the fridge and freezer. Who's that? Oh, reunited! Oh goodness. Oh my gosh. Happy puppies! Hey! $50 bill. $50 bill. Hey Paul, hey Janice, how y'all doing?
Jaquie.
Janice and I are chilling, having our girl time. Judd went to bed because he's got to wake up early for drill.
I look like an angel.
But I get to hang out with Janice and Paul tomorrow while Judd's at drill. He goes to the armory for drill and then he'll come home at night. This isn't one where he has to stay overnight, so it's nice.
And we have a big day tomorrow. You guys get to meet Paul's grandmother, who's from Italy, so you're gonna hear the past, the present, and the future.
What?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
This is gonna be exciting.
We have a lot to do tomorrow, just a lot of errands to run, so y'all will join us on that.
And a lot of raw. So it's gonna be exciting. Oh, she made me
Oh, we
slobber.
just broke this off the chair.
When you come here, do you not break something?
No, I'm
Just
sorry.
give me that. Stop. Stop.
Well, that is it for our day. I'm really happy to be here, even though my health hasn't been the greatest. She always makes me
Well, my house
happy.
hasn't been the greatest.
And that's it for our day. Thank you so much for joining us on our adventure.
Bye. Oh, yeah.